am Ellen McCauley. I'm in Syracuse, New York at Pray It Off. I was very excited about this topic. Have you ever heard me say I wasn't excited? Have you ever heard me say, I am so unexcited for tonight's meeting, why don't we quit right now and go home? No, but this is very good because so often I've had it myself, that fear of failure. Okay, I've done well, starting to gain, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. I failed every diet, every weight loss program, and people do it not only with weight, but so many other areas of their lives. And so often that fear of failure causes many people to unconsciously sabotage their chances of success in a variety of ways. And what is it? Is it the fear or is it fear of shame? I have told the story a million times how I gained all the weight back from Weight Watchers, and I'm in Walmart and I saw my Weight Watchers leader, the loveliest, nicest, kindest person. I couldn't run away from her fast enough. I was like, oh, because I didn't want her to see that I had gained the 100 pounds back. I was filled with shame. She would have been like, hi, how you doing? But my thoughts would be like, she's judging me. And have you ever done it yourself? Where you've seen someone who's maybe they've had gastric bypass, or maybe they've had something, and you see them again, and you're like, hi, how you doing? And later on, you're like, I saw blah, blah, she put on all that weight. And then you're like, whoa. That's what we're afraid of, that shame, that disappointment, anger, frustration that accompanies that. And we so often feel that it's who we are as people. If I was a better person, smarter person, nicer, wonderful person, I wouldn't be fat. I would be thin, I'd be perfect. We tend to put our failures as a definition of who we are. And there's signs that you might have a fear of failure. Failing makes you worry about what other people think of you. I don't know about you guys, but that is so important to me. Too important. Far too important. It's lessons that I'm still learning every day. There are going to be people that don't like you no matter what. And you got to just let it go. And I often think back to Jesus Christ. What was he doing? Love your neighbor. Love, be kind. And people crucified him. What are they going to do to us if we're just leading our normal lives? Failing makes you worry about your ability to pursue the future you desire. Why should I even try? I'm going to fail anyway, and I'll probably get diabetes and die a young death because I can't lose weight. And you extrapolate. Failing makes you worry that people will lose interest in you. I don't have that one. I don't worry about that. That's not one of my worries. And I was quite happy when I read that, because usually when there's a top 10 list, I have all 10. So I was like, oh wow, I don't fear that. Should I be fearing that people will lose interest in me? Why am I not fearing that? Maybe I should. No, I'm only kidding. I don't fear that. Failing makes you worry about how smart or capable you are. This is a huge one for me. I told you that my sister had a brain injury, and when we would walk down the street, people would say, here come the McCauley retards. And I would sit there and I'd say to myself, I have to prove that I am not a retard. And I'd get emotional. That pain that I felt as a child has stayed with me. I think there's a huge part of me that has to be smart and capable, because what if people think I'm not? What if they think I'm not, And the other day, someone at work used the word, and I said, oh, it would be so kind of you not to use that in front of me. The word sends me back 40 years in a heartbeat to walking down the street. And it wasn't once, it wasn't twice, it was so many times. It was our name retard. Did it go away as you got older? Yes. But there I was, studying into the wee hours of the night with a flashlight. I need to let that go. If I fail at something, are people going to say, well, Ellen failed because she's so stupid. She's just stupid. Ever meet Ellen? She's stupid. Do I need to worry about that? Do we need to say, if we don't lose weight, is it because we're stupid, or is it because we are dealing with so many things in our lives? Failing makes you worry about disappointing people whose opinion you value. I didn't want my leader to see me at Weight Watchers because I didn't want to disappoint her. She was so great. She was so proud of me. People who have been in this group that have left. I see them at church and I'm already go, and they're like running down the Walmart aisle away from me. I'm like, hey, I go, hey, how are you doing? I know I put on weight. I go, hey, but just how you doing? I know you probably think I should rejoin the group. I'm like, it's okay, how you doing, They don't want to disappoint me. Then here's a huge one that many people have in this group. You tend to tell people beforehand that you don't expect to succeed in order to lower their expectations. Many people say to me, oh, I'm sure I gained this week. I'm sure I gained it. Oh, I lost a pound? I just told you I thought I'd gain, and look, I lost, But there's many people in the group who say, I'm sure I gained, I'm sure I'm gained, and you did. So there's a bunch of them too. But once you fail at something, you have trouble imagining what you could have done differently to succeed. You think, I have failed every single time I've ever tried to lose weight. I don't know how I could have done anything differently. Well, maybe if we ate less and moved more consistently over time, we might have... here's my biggest thing. We do it. We say, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. And that's why pray it off for life has so many connotations, because when you finally wake up one morning and say, wait a minute, I'm going to have to do this every day, forever. And you know what? I don't find that depressing. I don't find it depressing because every day we have life. Also, you often get last-minute headaches, stomach aches, or other physical symptoms that prevent you from completing your preparation. And that segues right into procrastination. I'm going to exercise. I am, but I'm so tired tonight. But tomorrow I'm going to get up at 5:30 and I'm going to walk. Oh, I overslept, but tonight, when I get out of work, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strap on those sneakers and I'm going to go for a walk. Oh, I get out of work late. I'm tired. Domino's, can you deliver? That's where we go. You tend to procrastinate and run out of time. But what do you do? What do you do when you have a fear of failure? And so many people are like, oh, Ellen, you're not afraid of anything. You're so brave. You get up there, you do the meeting. I have lived most of my life in unmitigated fear. That was one of my biggest reasons for being fat. What if people think I'm stupid? What if I'm so fat I drop dead of a heart attack? What if someone I love drops dead? What if the world explodes in a violent meteor flash? What if there's a war? What if my kids have to go to war? I mean, I am afraid of everything. What have I done to try to deal with those fears? Running this group really helps me because I'm so busy. I don't have a lot of time for all that extrapolation. But you got to own it. You've got to own the fear and own the shame. And you've got to get empathy for it. If I were to say to you, I'm so afraid I'm going to weigh 370 again. I could imagine a conversation. Jean, I'm so afraid I'm going to weigh 170 again. Well, Ellen, you've kept it off for 5.5 years. Sure, you got a couple more to go, but you've done so good. Would Jean say to me, I'd be worried if I were you too? You probably will. I'm looking in my crystal ball and I'm seeing 2016 and you're 350, girlfriend. We don't say those things to our friends. We give them empathy. How about if we talk to ourselves the same way? We say, I'm afraid I'm going to gain the weight back. Really? Well, why are you afraid of that? Are you afraid you can't make a commitment? Well, no, I can make a commitment. You have a conversation with yourself. I wouldn't suggest you do it out loud at work. That's not a good idea. When you have that conversation with yourself, try to do it in your head or at home alone. Focus on the things that are in your control. You can't always control if you get called into work. You can't always control things if you get called to work at the fair. But remember when Kevin got called to work at the fair? You know what was in his control? He could pack a lunch. He could pack something. There's so many aspects of our lives that are in our control. And I'm going to go right into overcoming fear to improve our health. Fear can paralyze you personally and professionally. It can also make you sick. Don't forget, when we're afraid, our caveman bodies think a Tyrannosaurus is after us. Our caveman bodies don't think that we're afraid that we might have to speak in front of a group or that we might have to eat healthy or whatever. So the first thing is that fight or flight syndrome, where the first thing our body does is hold on to food. It wants us to eat. It wants us to take care of ourselves. We need to assess our fears and see if they're helpful or harmful. Remember we talked about it last week? You're in a building and you smell smoke. It's a little normal to go, what is that? Do I need to get the heck out of here? But if you're in your office and you're going, I'm so afraid, I'm going to get hungry, maybe I should have a candy bar to get me through. Stop. Go, is that a real fear? Are you going to pass out and die if you don't get that candy bar? Now you might die if you don't get out of a smoke-filled building. But you need to assess what the fear is. You know, if you're afraid of walking down a dark alley in New York City at 2 o'clock in the morning, that might be a valid fear. Well, it's a dark alley. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I better not walk down that alley. But if you're afraid you're going to starve to death when you don't have your honker snack at night, assess that. Also, name your fear. I want to do that. I haven't thought of it. I have so many fears that I've been dealing with my whole life, and I want to name them. They call it the gremlin or the inner lizard. I thought of calling my fear Satan, but I didn't want to give him a name or give him power. But I'm going to think of it. I'm going to think of a name for my fear, and then it says, invite your faith to beat the crap out of your fear. You say, by the power of Jesus Christ Jesus, I'm inviting you to beat the crap out of my fear. And you know what he wants to? He doesn't want us to live our lives in a state of fear. And you know what? So often we think we're afraid of things because we think we can't handle it. Oh, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my job. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I lost my job. I guess I'm handling it because I didn't drop dead. You can handle, and Bob always brings up this analogy. We're snowshoeing and there's a big hill. And I turned to him and I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. He goes, well, why can't you? And I go, well, look, it's a big hill. And he goes, you just put one foot in front of the other and you go up it. And I go, well, I don't think I can. He goes, you don't weigh 370, Alan. You can do this. And I snowshoed up the hill and it was no problem. But I was so afraid I couldn't. Why? And I didn't even want to try. Of course, I had the empathetic person here, but sometimes you don't have the empathetic person. You have to say, I can handle this. I can do this. Surround yourself with courageous people. One person came up to me and said to me, you know what, Ellen, I love my table. I can't wait to get here and see those people. I love them. We're surrounding ourselves with courageous people. And you know what else we have to do is breathe. I have been breathing so much the past couple weeks, and it really helps. I'm going to stop right there, Bonnie.